Hi, welcome. Hope you're all doing good, students. Yes, this is Pravina here to teach you Class 6, Chapter 2 Components of Food in Science. In the first chapter, we have seen that the people living in different regions they consume different kinds of food. Do you think that there is a need to take different kinds of food for any special reasons? So, let us see that what is the importance of taking different kinds of food and what does food consist of. So here goes our lesson, components and food. So what do different food items contain? To prepare any dish we need one or two ingredients, right? So these ingredients we get it from either a plant or animal source. These ingredients consist of components and those components are called as nutrients. So what are all those components which are present in the food? They are carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals. So these are the major components of food and these components are called as nutrients. In addition to these nutrients, our diet should consist of dietary fibers and water which are also needed by our body. So now let us see, is that all the food substances consist of all these nutrients? Yes. Here are few methods to test whether or what kind of components are present in a particular food item. So firstly, let us go with the first method, the test for starch. So here the main chemical that is used to prove the presence of starch is iodine. So the food that you wanted to test, you just take a small amount of that and add few drops of iodine to that, 2 or 3 drops of iodine to that, so that if the change in color, if you can see a blue or black color, it indicates that the given component or the food substance that you have taken consists of starch. If there is no color change, in the sense the food component doesn't consist of starch in it. So in the test for starch you have to use iodine. So in this picture which is displayed, you can see I have taken a slice of potato and added 2 or 3 drops of iodine to it. So it changes color to blue or black. So we can say that potato consists of larger amount of starch in it. So starch is a kind of carbohydrate. Yes, now let us go with the second test, that is test for proteins. So how can we prove that a given food substance consists of sufficient amount of proteins in it? So if the food that you want to test, if it is in a solid form, you have to crush it or paste it, add it into the test tube. Now add 2 or 3 ml of 10 ml of water to it and 2 drops of chemicals such as copper sulfate and 10 drops of caustic soda. So after addition of these two chemicals to the food substance, if you can see a color change, if the change of the color, if it changes to violet, it tells that the food substance consists of major amounts of protein in it. If there is no color change, in the sense that food substances doesn't consist of proteins. So carbohydrates test can be known by adding iodine to it, and a change in color, it has to change to blue or black. Whereas in case of proteins, for the test of proteins, the color change that you can see in the test tube is the food changes its color to violet. So that indicates the presence of proteins in the given food substance. Then how can we test? What is the method used to determine that the food substance consists of fats? So here, the food that you wanted to test, you have to take it on a sheet of paper and wrap it. So if this food material leaves a patch of oil on the paper, it indicates that the given substance consists of more amounts of fats in it. Or also you can say that if the paper turns to translucent, we confirm that the food substance consists of major amounts of fats in it. So these are the three methods which indicates or tells that the given food substance consists either that food substance consists of a carbohydrate, protein or fats. Yes. What do various nutrients do to our body? So intake of these nutrients, do they provide anything to our body? Let us see what are the uses of these nutrients to our body. Firstly, talking about carbohydrates and fats. So carbohydrates and fats are the energy giving foods. The same amount of carbohydrates, when you take same amount of carbohydrates and fats, you can see that fats provide more energy when compared to the carbohydrates. So these two are called as the energy giving foods. And carbohydrates are rich in food sources such as sugarcane, potato, papaya, watermelon, mango, maize, bajra, rice, wheat. So all these food substances consist of major amounts of carbohydrates in it. When we go with fats, those are rich in different kinds of oils that we get. It may be sunflower oil or whatever the oil, mustard oil. So all these oils consist of major amounts of fats in it. And the animal sources such as fish, meat, egg, milk. So these are also the food substances which consist of major amounts of fats in it. So carbohydrates and fats, they are known as energy giving foods which give us energy. Then coming to the second type of nutrient, that is protein. So proteins are known as body building foods. And which food item consists of major amounts of proteins? So all the type of pulses, beans, so they contain major amounts of proteins, grams, maize or everything. So all the different types of pulses consist of major amounts of proteins in them. So these are all the plant sources. When going to the animal sources, sources such as a fish, milk, egg or meat, so all these are the animal sources, or paneer, these consist of major amount of proteins in them. So proteins are called the body building foods that should be included in your diet. Yes. Next, coming to vitamins. So vitamins and minerals, they are required in very small quantity to the body. Their proportion that is required by the body is very little. So there are different kinds of vitamins. Vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C and vitamin D. So what is the use of these vitamins? They help in protecting our body against diseases. Then what is the use of vitamin A to the body? It keeps our skins and eyes healthy. And the food sources such as papaya, carrot, mango, milk and fish oil. So these food sources are rich in vitamin A. So by consuming these kinds of food, we can keep our skin and eyes healthy. Whereas talking about vitamin B, it helps in muscular growth. So the food sources such as liver, rice and wheat, they consist of major amount of vitamin B in it. So vitamin B, it helps in the muscular growth. Next, coming to vitamin C. Vitamin C, it helps body to fight against many diseases. And the food sources such as tomato, oranges, guava, lemon and amla. So these food sources, they consist of major amount of vitamin C. So vitamin C, it helps the body to fight against many diseases. Then coming to vitamin D. So the major natural source from where we get vitamin D is through sun. And apart from that, we also get vitamin through the food sources such as fish, egg yolk, meat, cereals, milk and fortified beverages. So vitamin D, it helps our body to use calcium for bones and teeth. So those are the different vitamins such as vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin D and vitamin C. Now coming to another kind of nutrient, that is minerals. So minerals are required in a very less proportion to our body. So minerals, what is the use of minerals to the body then? They help in proper growth of body and maintain good health. And the different few of the minerals such as phosphorus, iron, iodine and calcium. So these are the minerals which are required by the body. So phosphorus is present more in banana, rice, wheat, green chilies and so on. So these are the food sources which consist of major proportion of phosphorus in them. Then coming to iron. So if there is an iron deficiency, you will say that the concentration of blood is low in those people. So we get iron. Iron is present more in jaggery or green leafy vegetables, apples and also liver. So these food items consist of major sources of iron. And the major sources of iodine. So we get this iodine through the salt that we intake, and also most of the aquatic animals, they provide major amount of salt to the body. And apart from that, green leafy vegetables, they provide us iodine. And coming to calcium, milk and egg are the major sources to provide us calcium. So mineral concentration is required in a very little concentration, and few of these minerals are phosphorus, iron, iodine and calcium. So the main function of these minerals, they help in proper growth of body and maintain good health. So in this pie picture you can see, so what are the different kinds of nutrients? The body building food such as proteins, energy giving food such as carbohydrates and fats, and protective food such as vitamins and minerals. So vitamins and minerals are present mostly in fruits and vegetables. So our next topic is about dietary fibers and water. So what does this dietary fiber mean? So dietary fibers are nothing but they are called as roughages, and these roughages are present mostly in the peels of fruits and vegetables. They do not contain any nutrient in them, but the use of this dietary fiber is that they add bulk to the food material and help us to get rid of the undigested food particle. So we can say that roughages prevents constipation. So children, keep in mind that your diet should contain larger amount of dietary fiber so that you will be free from constipation. Next, coming to water. So what is the use of water to our body? 70% of our body is filled with water, right? So where do we get this water from? So as it is a natural source, we drink a lot of water when we are in need, right? And here, apart from that, most of the fruits and vegetables, they are rich in water. So what is the use of water to our body? Water helps our body to absorb nutrients from food. And apart from absorbing nutrients, it also helps in removing the waste material in the form of urine and sweat. Now let us see what is meant by balanced diet. So the diet, which consists of all the kinds of nutrients such as carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, minerals and vitamins. So if the diet consists of all these nutrients in an equal proportion, along that which includes dietary fibers and water, so such a diet is called as balanced diet. Apart from having a good food, we should also see that our food should be cooked properly in such a way that its nutrients are not lost. See, some foods like vitamin C, if it is cooked for a longer time, you can see that these vitamins are completely lost. So the food should be cooked properly, and also as the cooking improves the taste of food and it's make easier to digest. So you might have seen your mother peeling off the skin of vegetables and fruits, but these peels are rich in dietary fiber. Along with that, it also consists major amount of vitamins and minerals in it. So is it not sensible to us to eat the fruits or vegetables with their peels? Yes, children, try to include the peels, but before that you have to wash them thoroughly. And here nowadays we are finding that children who are habituated of eating the junk foods, but intake of these foods and those foods which are rich in fat, it leads to a condition known as obesity. And most of the children these days are affected with obesity. They are facing obesity problems, right? So where the child become lethargic, he is not he will not be able to pay attention or sit constantly. He'll be vexed with doing different works. And the person who is affected with obesity, he'll be affected with cardiovascular problems, renal problems, and what are all the kinds of diseases that the person will be affected with. So children, try to avoid intake of fat rich foods. Yes, now let us discuss what are deficiency diseases. So the deficiency diseases are those which are caused due to the lack of intake of nutrients for a lack of period. For example, if a person doesn't include a kind of nutrients, such as if he doesn't include carbohydrates in his diet for a longer period, so that person will be thin and lean, and it is very difficult for that person to move. Or if a person, if you just think that if a person is if in his diet, if he is not including proper amount of proteins, so that person will be affected with, he'll have discoloration of the hair, many skin diseases, and also he'll be affected with diarrhea. So deficiency diseases are caused when there is lack of nutrients for a longer period of time. That person will be affected with deficiency diseases. So now let us see, if a person is not including vitamin A in his diet properly, then that person, the disorder seen in that person is loss of vision. And the symptoms seen are poor vision, loss of vision in darkness, and sometimes complete loss of vision. If a person is deficient, if its diet doesn't include larger amount of vitamin B1, then that person will be affected with beriberi. So what are all the symptoms seen here? He will be having weak muscles and very little energy to work. And if a diet is deficient in vitamin C, the person or disorder seen is known as scurvy. What is scurvy? So the symptoms seen are bleeding gums, wounds take longer time to heal. If a person is deficient in vitamin D, he will be affected with rickets. So the symptoms seen are bones become soft and bend. They will be very fragile. So now, if a person is deficient in minerals such as calcium, then the disorder seen in bone and tooth decay. So the symptoms are weak bones and tooth decay. If a person is deficient in iodine, if his diet doesn't include proper amount of iodine, that person will be affected with a disease known as goiter. And the symptoms seen are glands in the neck appear swollen, mental disability in children. If he is deficient in iron, he will be affected with a disorder known as anemia. So here anemia means we are having lower levels of hemoglobin, and the symptoms seen are he'll be very weak. So weakness can be seen in that person. So children, to avoid all these deficiency diseases, you have to have a balanced diet. Yes. Have you understood everything, Nana? So if you get any doubt, feel free to call me. Thank you.